was fairly shocking.
So how does it feel to be wrong all the time, Soundwave?
Well, so I pick a team who's up 16 points at the start of the match and still lose.
One would think it was a safe bet.
How do you...
After last match, I didn't think anything was going to top that for my favorite fight. This is my new favorite for today. It's amazing.
Capel got
I will say though, both the 2 times where I've decided to go like switch away from what I think is going to win and just go with my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be silly. Robots don't have hearts, right?
My emotion chip told me to go with red versus blue.
But like, even because you guys were going like red versus blue, and I was like, haha, they don't know that they had a guy disconnected. And then they had 3 boundary violations. 3.
Too close to the edge of glory.
You can't do that.
No.
You'll lose games.
I could hear Sreek screaming from the next room.
Yes.
Like, they're out. He was so happy.
I feel really bad for apathetic Brent in that. Like, it's a mistake that, again, when you're trying to kite, it's easy to make, but he's got to be like kicking himself. But you know what? They can still come back. It's still early, but
it's only one match.
Hurt. Yeah.
It's only one match, but that means that they will need to beat Pandemic Legion to have any chance of going on. Red versus blue, on the other hand,
Though at this point, red versus blue can beat anybody.
Yeah. So the way to tournament success is apparently like
friendship.
The like EVE Online equivalent of a whimsical jalopy.
A whimsical.
Yeah. Don't PvP with ECM. Just kind of screw around in 2 systems. Just beat everyone.
Well, no one gets more kills than red versus blue. They are
true.
the most experienced PvPers in this game.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly showing. Wow, that was 2 amazing matches in a row.
Wait to see RBB play.
Yeah. So Shadow Cartel with their balls to the walls DPS setup, and red versus blue behind 16 points at the start of the match, winning against Rote Kapelle, one of the better tournament teams.
You guys couldn't see it, but when the Rote Kapelle Hugin flew out of the ring, we were all like, ah!
Yes.
It was like, it was awesome.
And I think Streaks, you could hear him go, Hugin, out, from the other room.
It was so good.
Yes. All right, well, we'll talk more about the match, but let's just go talk to the commentators and hear about what they have to say about this entire mess.
Hi, I'm CCP Sunset, still here in the commentary booth with Kill2 and Laz.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for nodding to confirm that I got your names right.
That's me.
We've had some really exciting matches. Only one more to go today. You guys having a great day?
There was a lot of upsets today. Like a lot of the teams that I really thought were going to win, the really strong teams, just tanked.
Yeah, it's been like an ideal tournament day. Lots of variation, lots of surprises, lots of excitement. It's perfect.
Yeah, lots of things going wrong. Lots of things going right, though.
Yeah.
We've been watching the prediction threads on the forum. We're doing those for every match where people give their predictions of who's going to win. So those have been pretty exciting. There's been lots of prizes given away. And we also have our Ask the Experts thread.
Oh.
So I have a bunch more questions for you. I have a very special question for you, Kill2, which has been posted repeatedly. And I think you know what's coming.
I know what's coming.
How many griffins does it take to permajam a battlecruiser?
Only one.
Only one?
Yep. I've, as Soundwave so graciously mentioned, I've been live streaming some PvP after the tournament the last couple weekends, and there's been a wonderful group of pilots that's been following me around for the entirety of the stream with a couple griffins permajamming me the entire time.
I believe this particular incident happened when you announced you were going to a system and everyone just kind of met you there.
No, these guys are persistent enough that it's actually been all the rest of the time as well. Like, they came to that. They also came everywhere else I went and just followed me around.
So the next ship you fit is going to be nothing but ECCM?
I actually thought of that. I thought of fitting a Talos with 3 CCMs in the mids and some all tracking enhancers to just one-shot griffins. So watch out. But I did get him once, so it's fine.
You got him once.
I did get him once. Yeah, I killed him.
High
five.
His KD ratio.
It's not good. My jam to kill ratio certainly isn't good. I spend most of the time jammed.
Okay, well, so that's that settled. 1. The answer is 1. Some more questions from the forum. Is having no flagship a disadvantage?
I don't think so. A lot of teams don't actually field their flagship. They go out, spend the money on the expensive fittings and just making it really shiny. And I think they're just kind of scared to lose it.
Yeah, I mean, the flagship thing I find a little bit bemusing because every team has the opportunity to name one ship their flagship, right?
Right.
And put on any shiny, awesome stuff that they want, and then they can use that in any match. But once it dies, it's dead.
Right.
It's done, right?
Well,
so why wouldn't you?
Well, the flagship is actually a really good ship. We saw it once today, the Baelgorn. Twice. 2 flagships. And the Baelgorn is just amazing because you can fit that officer web to it and just get the huge web range on it, and just tackle those ships. That way your team can catch up to it. So I mean, it's definitely worthwhile depending on your setups, but a lot of teams don't focus around that flagship.
Yeah.
That's why you don't see them as much.
Well, there's obviously a lot of tactics involved. You don't want to like bring it out too early. You want to keep it as a surprise. You don't want to risk losing it. There's all kinds of different variants. But I just don't. I get so frustrated. Why wouldn't you name a flagship so you can have that option? It just like makes it, opens it up a
That's
little bit
completely
more.
fair.
So
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason not to name one.
Yeah.
okay, but disadvantage not having a flagship.
No.
If you're awesome enough, not really.
No, I mean most battle. I don't know. This tournament's been different, but in general, battleships haven't been important enough that you like are obligated to use them. A lot of time, you're actually better off not using them. So naming flagships isn't like necessary if you don't think you're going to use any battleships. And giving away intel about your flagship also could be harmful potentially. But I wonder if a lot of teams it's just a matter of costs. Like a lot of teams don't want to go out and spend $7 billion on a flagship. So what's the point in naming one? But I don't know. I agree with you. There's not any cost to having the option. So.
Yeah. Options are good. One last real quick question. Brutix versus Talos.
I think they fit in two different environments. I mean, you have the Brutix, which is a little bit tankier with medium guns, and then you have the Talos, which is in your face, large blasters, but it's it's really thin.
Yeah.
Not paper thin, but it doesn't have as much buffer.
I could talk for a long time about the two ships. They, like you said, they're very different. In the tournament, a lot of time the reason we see Brutixes is because they can field gang links really well. Even though they have 7 turrets. The Talos, on the other hand, is not very good for that.
Right.
And then you can kind of go into a whole long thing about tier 3s versus the tier 1 BCs in the tournament. There's a whole kind of split there as well. And then what tier 3s are better than, Oracles, like Gravy was saying, are maybe better than Taluses generally. But they're just very, very different. So even though they're sort of similar sometimes on TQ, they're really almost opposite.
Well, with the hybrid boost, I think they're both awesome ships. A lot better now.
They're obviously both very good.
Cool. I like the Brutix. I used to fly them quite a bit. So I think we're going to head back to the studio, but keep your questions coming on the forum thread. Ask the experts, and we will ask the experts. So back to Soundwave in the studio.
Hi, welcome back. Nice of you to join us again. We're just about ready for the last match of the day. I'm just going to put Tournament Cat somewhere. He just needed a little bit of love. Last match of the day. It is a really, really good one, though. It is Pandemic Legion versus Kill It With Fire. Pandemic Legion, of course, did not win last year, are going to try and do it this year. And would it be fair to say that Kill It With Fire is your best bet at getting points in that division?
As far as I think Kill With Fire is still a strong team, but in this division, in this group, I think they're the weakest. Yeah.
But I mean, wormhole teams. Sorry, go ahead.
There's nothing to take away Kill With Fire. I'm not trying to say Kill With Fire is a bad team. You just are in the worst bracket, the worst grouping for this.
Yeah. But we're seeing a lot of the wormhole teams have we didn't see a lot of interest before. They were just like, we're in wormholes. This Alliance tournament stuff is not in wormholes, so we're just going to ignore it. And we had Kill It With Fire. We had No Holds Barred. We had Elysian Empire. Like, we had a ton of these smaller. What's their faces? The super big one apply?
Tracking disrupted.
Yes.
I don't believe so.
No, I don't believe. Well, I mean, they have more money than God. They should just come join.
Yeah, and I think wormhole teams tend to be kind of dark horse teams because they're not as you don't hear as much about them as you hear on
live on the
0-0.
outside, never encounter.
Yeah. Like the 0-0 teams love to post and love to be out there and look at me, here I am on the map and make commercials and propaganda and everything. And the wormhole teams they're kind of quieter. They just do the little thing in the wormhole.
They've got their own community and it's very tight. And but they know how to PvP and they know how to PvP in expensive ships.
Yes.
No one can do Tech 3 cruisers as well as the wormhole people.
Yeah. I did quite a bit of wormhole PvP a little while ago, and it's a ton of fun, and they're really, really good at it. And a lot of the setups within wormholes are completely different from the setups you use outside. So like some of the setups are a little bit wonky, but you kind of get used to it.
But it gives you a practice thinking about how to handle different environments than normal TQ.
Yeah.
I think actually like wormhole combat and the tournament combat are a little bit similar. Like you're
both
not gonna get a
limited in
hot
how
draw. You're more gonna be pilots like remote wrapping each other and like doing funky co-op stuff.
Catching people in gates isn't as important.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, last match of the evening: Pandemic Legion versus Kill It With Fire. Sastro.
Still so bitter about the loss of my good friend and also arch nemesis Shadu, but I'm gonna have to say Pandemic Legion's the favorite for this one.
I've got to go with my bros in Pandemic Legion.
I'm gonna go Kill with Fire.
All right. Well, I think I might go with Pandemic Legion, and I really hope that I am right for once.